Welcome students. Today I'm going to teach you WH question. Framing WH question. Today we are going to see how to frame WH question. See, come to the slides. Framing WH question. Before that, framing WH question. So we have to see WH words. What are they? See WH words. They are what, where, who, whose, which, when, whom, why, how far, how many, how much, how long. So generally what is used to for an object, idea or action we are using WH what, and where is used for place or position, who is for person, and how is for manner, condition or quality, how far used to distance, and how many is for quantity. So which are countable nouns. We are using how many, how much, that is quantity, that is uncountable, we use how much. Last one, how long, that's for length, and which is for choices, that is a optional. When is used to time, whom it is for also the person, that is used for object, why it is for reason, we are using that thing. So for that thing, what the question is, what is she doing, what is the plan, that's the object, idea and action. What is she doing and what is the plan, we ask like that. Next, where, it is used to place and position. So where is the main shop, where is the temple, where is the church, we ask like that. And who, it is a person, who are they, they are people, who are they. And who is you, who is he, who are you. Why, it is for the reason, why is she late, why is she always late to office. So it is for reason, there is a reason, so we ask. And when is the meeting, when is the meeting, we ask. Which, that is the things, that is choices. Which subjects do you take, in which college do you study, in which college are you studying. So likewise we are asking. How, it is a manner or method or amount, we are asking. How is your health, how are you, how old are you, so we are asking that mannerisms and methods, some other amounts. And how much, it is for the price amount, uncountable we are using. How much did you pay for the dress. After that, how many, that's the quantity, it is countable. And how many shoes did you buy. How long, that's the duration, that's the time, length. How long is the time of the period. How long have been waiting for you, we are asking. How far, it is the distance, how far is the distance to your home. So before that, warm-up sessions, we have to be cleared in auxiliary verbs. If we know the auxiliary verbs, then we can write then we can find out the auxiliary verbs for framing WH question, because auxiliary verbs helps to frame a type of question, that is yes or no question, because yes or no questions begin with auxiliary verbs, and that before an auxiliary verb it is placed WH word. Simple, we are using that thing, we just hide the answer only and we can have a question for that particular answer. Before that there is a positive and negative, which I have divided you. And for that thing, auxiliary verbs present and past things are am, is, or have, has, do, does. These are for present, and past tense we are using the verbs are was, were, had, did. And some other negatives, since we add an add not to these positive verbs only. For example, am not, he is not, they are not, I was not, they were not, I have not, he has not, they had not, we do not, Ram does not, all the people did not. So we are using that negative. For the negative statement, we are writing only simple. We are adding not to that auxiliary verbs only. Then we can have a negative formation. So modal auxiliaries. They are modal auxiliaries. They can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must. So these are modal auxiliaries. So from these auxiliary verbs, we make yes or no questions. That is the thing. Because I'm a student, am I a student? We just make because that is a second auxiliary verb should place before a subject. Then we end of the sentence we just put question mark. So we have a yes or no type question. So today I'm going to give you positive statement and negative statement. So these also, the modal auxiliaries also, we should add not to these auxiliaries too. Cannot, could not, may not, might not, will not, would not, shall not, should not, must not. So see the next slides. I have given you the rules for WH question. How we are going to write WH question. There is a rule. Before that note I have given you QW, which means question word. AV, which means auxiliary verb. MV, that is meaning here main verb, that is a root verb and present verb, base form of verb, we are telling that thing. And a SUV sub, it is that for subject we are using. So positive statement and negative statement, both statements I have given you the rules. For the positive, see question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus object, some other thing, any other you can fill, and you just put a question word. That is for positive. And we are using negative formation statement. That statement, negative statement, is in question word plus auxiliary verb plus not plus subject plus main verb. So this is a negative statement. And yes or no questions also I have given you. POS pos means positive, NEG means negative, and AV plus subject plus CMV plus object, that is auxiliary verb subject main verb plus object, that is positive. And negative manner, auxiliary verbs plus not plus subject plus main verb. So this is the rule for making, framing and writing the WH question. So these rules we have to be clear in that rule, then we can write that thing. Before that we just some other no, should, that verb, auxiliary verbs, then we can write, because auxiliary verbs only help to that make a question, yes or no question, as well as making the WH question also. So from positive statement, negative statement I have given you. So for the positive statement, framing WH question, how we are framing the WH question, I am telling you. He writes an exam now. This is the positive statement. From that positive statement, I am writing to WH question. How I am framing? See that thing. Students, if we read that question, he writes an exam now. So we have two more questions in that sentence, because we just hide the some object in that sentence. For example, an exam or adverbial times something says, now we can hide that two both words in the sentence. Because if we ask a question, he writes an exam. What writes? What he writes? We are asking that thing. He writes an exam now. So for the question, how I am making before that thing, the verb, the note is given here. Does plus write equal to writes. For the present tense, we are using the do verbs with splitting the helping verbs do, because the sentence is giving in a main form of a verb, base form of verb. We just use auxiliary verb do because we have to split with the verb do. He writes an exam. So answer is does plus write. So we can ask what and when. There is a two question word in the sentence, which is because we hide an exam. And a negative statement, he does not write an exam now. This is the negative statement. We just split into the writes verb, does plus write equal to writes. So negative statement, he does not write an exam now. So now the question is, what does he write now? We are asking, what does he write now? There is a rule. According to the rule, the answer is right. According to the rule, the answer is given because first it is a WH word and auxiliary verb and a subject and object. So see that thing, WH question, always WH word comes the first and second auxiliary verb and subject. And for the negative statement, why doesn't he write an exam? We are asking, why doesn't he write an exam? This is the negative statement. There is a no change, only we are adding WH question, WH words to the sentence only. This is the WH question. Yes or no questions we just see. He writes an exam now. He does not write an exam now. Does he write an exam now? See, we just split it. Doesn't he write an exam now? That's a last in the sense the question mark. Then we form a WH question. And some other questions we just see. He wrote an exam yesterday. He did not write an exam yesterday. For past tense I am giving before the sentence, that is giving for present tense. Here it is for past tense. He wrote an exam yesterday. We can ask when. When did he write an exam? Why didn't he write an exam? He wrote an exam yesterday. So we are framing wrote, did plus write is equal to wrote. So did he write an exam yesterday? He did not write an exam yesterday. Didn't he write an exam yesterday? And some other auxiliaries, modal auxiliaries we can use. He can write an exam. Negative statement, for the negative statement, he cannot write an exam. It is giving the last thing. For that question word, when can't he write an exam? What can he write? We can ask. Exam, it is an answer. We just hide. We just apt WH word. There is an object. There is a idea. There is an action. We are using what. And for a Sana question, he can write an exam. He cannot write an exam. Can he write an exam? This is a Sana question. We are just why I should give you the Asano question here, because from the Asano questions we are getting to know that thing. From the Asano questions only we are framing WH question, because easy to frame WH question. We particularly what is the manner, what is the thing, what is the idea, everything we notice the thing. Uh, Apt to what WH word for the sentence, we find out that thing only. Thus we just auxiliary verbs before a subject, that is the yes or no questions. Before auxiliary verbs we should put that WH word, we make a WH question. That is why note here AV plus V1 form, that is the modal auxiliaries always have, modal auxiliaries verb have V1 present form of a verb that has in a sentence. Thank you everyone.